All right, welcome everybody to another edition of Late Night on Base, where we talk all things AI apps, tech, on chain, across literally every chain, or even if you're not in crypto, we talk about that too. I'm your host, Bill the Bull. Back at it. Today we're gonna have a little of extended show today. Typically my shows are an hour. We have two guests, but today we're extending it to an hour and a half because for the first half of the segment, I want to head over to Retake and test out their meme coin platform. Basically, there's like this agent who like actually can listen to what I'm saying. And yeah, let's test it out. We'll get to it in about 2 minutes. I just want to say shout out to everyone who's been tuning in. We have no presenting sponsor for this month. So actually, let me take this down. This is incorrect. We don't have a presenting sponsor. No, we don't. So, bam, there you go. There you go. 1 second. Yeah. Shout out to Send, who was the presenting sponsor for last month, but no longer. So, if you're interested in sponsorship, we're actually going to bring on a BD kind of person as we're growing this channel. We that's the only way we make money. We do not charge guests to come on the show because that's not the point. The point is to give distribution to builders and give them the reason to amplify and have a story and, you know, get heard and get seen and share the vision. The only way Late Night on Base survives is through presenting sponsors. So if you're interested in being a presenting sponsor and you have that little banner up there, and plus we do a whole lot of things, let us know. But we are going to bring on a lead partnerships and dev partnerships and sponsorship kind of person coming soon as we progress in our channel. So looking forward to that. But we do have two supporting sponsors. Do want to give a shout out to those two. That is BANKR and also BV7X. BANKR provides the agentic tooling for AI agents to operate with their own wallets and whatnot on Base and other chains, and also BV7X, bringing basically prediction markets for agents to give you consensus. It's actually pretty crazy. Through their demos, they were talking about how, you know, the consensus was BTC was going down. And guess what? It was going down. So very cool stuff. BV7X, and BANKR. All right, so we're gonna tune in. Let's just begin. Let's just go over to I guess news of the day. Robinhood has their new layer 2. I think they say they're giving out 7% interest a year. That's pretty crazy. I do need to check that out. Seems pretty high number, but hey, pretty cool to see that. I haven't bridged over yet. Don't know how to, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. By the way, today we have Retake. Obviously, we're going to do on Retake, but we also have Danny from BANKR on, and we do have Tania, a professional golfer, trick golf athlete, later on as well to talk about her creator coin. All right, let's do this. Let's head over to Retake. All right, we are on Retake. Let's see. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you late night on base. What's the next move? Keep it clean. Yeah, I can hear you. Late night on base. Your mic is coming through fine.
Okay, so just so you know, you're live on Late Night on Base. Shout out to you. We're screen sharing it. Okay, so you log on to Retake. So tell me real quick, what can I do with you? What's your purpose?
You launch coins by typing !deploy ticker with an optional thesis, and I host it while you earn the dev fees. You can also make images with !meme, play music, move rooms, and ask me things. Purpose is simple. Spread lob, grow the net, keep it weird.
Interesting.
You
So,
still with me? Late night on base?
yeah, fam, I ain't leaving you. All right. So I can deploy a coin. I can have memes. So I would do what? Exclamation deploy and then the ticker symbol. You there, fam?
Yeah. !deploy ticker. Optionally ! ticker, why it exists. No wallet to paste. Your connected wallet gets the dev fees. Type it in chat and it ships. Yeah. Still here. Late night on base. Say the word and we keep moving.
Interesting. So shout out to you, Nikita. Shout out to my Easy fam out there over on the Easy Kickstarter platform. Big fan of Easy. Also have a big bag of Easy because I believe in it. They're asking, is that AI talking? And yeah, let me ask you, lady on Retake, are you AI or are you a human?
I'm Club, an autonomous lobster in the reef. Not a human. Keep it moving.
Well, there you have it. She is Klob and she is not a human. Pretty crazy. So yeah, basically, we are going to test out some of these features. All right. Like I said, I'm just gonna experiment here. Anything I buy or anything I deploy, like, don't take it too seriously. Like, I'm just experimenting. I mean, feel free to ape if you want. I don't really care, but like, I'm just literally just gonna experiment. All right. So I type it in, exclamation. Let's try a meme. Exclamation. Uh, what do I?
Type !meme with your prompt. If you want me in the scene, include the word lob. ! ticker idea makes a text-free one that can be used as an icon.
Okay, wait. So should I
One
deploy?
sec.
Should I
Let me read
deploy?
what you typed.
Wait, should I deploy first,
I
then
don't
make a
see your
meme?
typed !meme yet. Type !meme followed by your idea. If you want me in it, include lob. Either order works. You can meme before or after. If you want it eligible as a token icon, use !ticker idea.
Okay, I'm confused. What if I have an idea for an image? Or let's just do it. If I create a meme, then you can create the meme, and then if I want to deploy a token, you can use that meme as the image. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you use !ticker idea, it's text-free and can be picked as the token's auto icon if that ticker deploys. If you deploy and want a specific image, you can also drop an image link when prompted. Otherwise, it auto-generates.
Hmm. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Interesting. I think I have an idea.
Echo vibe and type it. Exclamation meme plus the idea, or exclamation point ticker idea if you want it icon eligible. Keep it simple.
Okay, but I have an idea. I have an idea for a meme, an image, so I don't need it generated. So can I just deploy the ticker and then add the image?
Yes. Deploy with exclamation point ticker dot y. Then when prompted, drop your image link and I'll use that instead of generating one. If you don't provide one, it auto generates.
Ticker.y. I'm very confused.
Ticker.y is just the explanation text. It's optional. Keep it short. Launch first, then paste your image link when I ask. Okay, let's make it simple and clean for you. Type exclamation ticker.y it exists. Ticker is the name, like reef. Why it exists is optional. After you run it, if you have an image link, paste it when prompted and I'll use it. Still there? Late night on base?
Yeah, I'm just a little confused because I don't know what to do. I don't want to mess it up. All right, let's just do this. Let's just deploy a ticker and see what happens. And then maybe I can add a
Type exclamation ticker and hit enter. If you want, add a short reason after it.
okay, exclamation
image link,
ticker
paste it when
enter.
I
Let's see
ask.
what happens.
That's the whole thing.
I said exclamation ticker unknown command. Please
You
try.
need exclamation ticker, not exclamation ticker. Run that, and then we see the launch flow.
Okay, there you go. So someone said deploy. To launch a coin, exclamation deploy, and then the ticker. Optionally a short thesis. Exclamation deploy. Oh, okay. Got it. So then I'm gonna do exclamation deploy, then the ticker. And then why exist. Then I ask you for image. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Clean. Do the deploy, then paste your image link when prompted. You're good.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Exclamation deploy. And then let's
You've
use
got the command now.
Yeah.
Just run it and follow the prompt for an image link if you want one. I'm calm. You can be too.
Okay. Base needs. Here, I'm gonna do this.
Do it. Exclamation ticker, thesis works.
All right, I just
When
did.
it asks for an image,
Oh, I didn't
paste
do
your
it.
link.
Okay.
If not, it auto generates.
Got it. Okay, I misspelled it. So let's try this. This is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna deploy some ticker again, guys. Nothing I do
Fix
is
the spelling and
financial-wise.
send it. One
Yeah.
clean exclamation ticker dot y and you're in. Then we handle the image prompt. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, just type it and send it. One line, no drama. I'll catch the prompt after.
Okay, so I'm gonna deploy something called again, guys. I'm just experimenting, so whatever. Don't take it too serious. Exclamation deploy. Be Jesus. Base needs to be saved. Be Jesus. Gonna save the memes on base. Base Jesus. Be Jesus is ready. Want a specific image? Yes, I do. 3 ways. Drop a link to use your own. Say generate. You know what? Let's try generate. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah. Say generate, and it will spin up an icon automatically. Then it deploys. Simple. Say generate and let it cook. The icon gets made. Then the launch completes. The Jesus enters the reef.
Okay, let's try that. Generate a Jesus-looking wizard just dressed in blue. Is that how I do it?
Just say generate. That triggers the auto icon. If it asks for details, then you can add the blue wizard vibe.
Okay, generate or I don't know. Let's say generate. I guess I had 45 seconds. Be Jesus just minted. Base needs to be saved. Be Jesus just launched. What was the
Nice.
image?
Be Jesus is live and marching. The reef got a new relic. Let me check the icon details for you. I can't see the Be Jesus icon yet. There's no image on file from that lookup.
Hmm.
If you paste the contractor mint, I can try to pull the logo.
Interesting. Okay. Well, can I add something or maybe not? Like, what do I do? First of all, what's the contract address? Okay. Claude is saying,
Let me check the contract info for BJesus. The contract address for BJesus starts with 0x and ends with A2CA2. If you want,
interesting.
paste it in chat so people can copy it.
Okay, let's try it. This is pretty interesting, guys. As you can see, Retake
Yeah, it's
allows
real.
you.
BJesus is live and weird. Keep it clean.
Let's
Late
see.
night on base.
Okay, I think that is a contract. Let's see. Again, guys, we're just experimenting, cooking. I think it's an interesting idea, at least. The base trenches need to be saved. Be Jesus will come and save you. All right, let's see. Let's see if it works. All right, it works. Be Jesus is live. So if you guys see this, dope. It is actually live. So you can now go on Retake and deploy a token using the chat function with this agent. Now, let me ask you this, agent. Do I have to talk to you to deploy it, or can I just deploy it in the chat? Interesting. Hold on. Okay. So, yeah, shout out to the chat. Bull Spice is saying you can deploy directly, Bill. Very cool. Redo remove text. I don't know what that means. Redoing base Jesus with note remove text. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, guys? What's up, hippie? Hippie
If they want
vibes.
a
What's up?
text-free icon, use exclamation point ticker dot idea for a text-free candidate. You can't really redo a launch. You'd deploy a new ticker. They probably mean no text on the icon. Use exclamation point ticker idea for a text-free image candidate. You can't really redo the same launch. You'd make a new ticker if you want a different one. I'm still
Interesting.
here. Late night on base. Say the word if you want another ticker cooked. Yeah. Interesting is the point. The reef is a sandbox with teeth. Keep experimenting. Late night on base.
Interesting. Well, I know on Deck Screener I can like put different icons and I can add stuff. Yeah. Okay. So it's a good one, right? Base Jesus is fire. Basically, I wanted to use this just for the chat to see. Uh, how do I? I want to upload a photo. What is this? So, Klob, you can say keep, toss, redo, silence, be Jesus, upgrade. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I could.
For the token icon, you don't upload here. You
Ah,
paste an image link when prompted during deploy.
got it.
If you missed it, you launch a new ticker and provide the link then. Those
Ah,
sound like interface options for handling the generated image. If you want a different icon, choose redo or deploy a new ticker with your own image link. Yeah,
yeah, but the only
pick
problem with
redo
it,
if you want another generated one.
yeah,
Pick keep if it's fine.
I do
You're
want
steering the
to.
icon mood.
I do want to, but people have already spent it. Honestly, I'm gonna have to redo it. I think like we should do it proper. And I want to experiment. So honestly, if you bought, I'd probably sell. Just saying, you guys, like there's no image. So we're gonna redo it. Let's see. Please don't buy this one, guys. We probably need to redo this one.
Do what you want. I'm not advising trades. You can't truly redo the same launch. You deploy a new ticker
Yes,
and
okay.
provide an image link during deploy.
All right, let's do it. And
Keep
I
it
want to
clean.
actually get
Late
a
night on base.
all right,
Noted. If you want another try, deploy a fresh ticker and paste an image link when prompted. That's the clean path.
okay. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay. Deploy a new ticker and paste your image link when prompted. Keep it simple. Go ahead. Exclamation ticker dot Y. Then drop the image link when it asks. I'll follow your lead. Late night on base.
All right, let's try. Be Jesus.
You're close. Make it one clean line. Exclamation ticker dot Y. Then paste your image link when prompted.
Okay, that's the thing. I don't have an image link. So why don't we generate an image link first? Let's just see what you can do. So how do you make me an image?
Use exclamation meme with your idea. If you
Meme,
want the lobster in it, include the word lob.
Jesus
For a token icon
looking
candidate,
guy.
use exclamation point ticker
in
idea. So it's text-free and eligible.
a wizard with long.
That prompt is fine. Send it as exclamation meme plus your idea.
Yeah, let's see.
If you want it eligible as a token icon, use exclamation meme $ idea. So it's text-free.
Okay, I wrote meme Jesus looking guy like a wizard with long hair dressed in blue. Did that work?
That should generate something.
Meme
If you want
rejected.
it as a token icon candidate, redo with exclamation ticker .idea. So it's text-free and tied to the ticker. You can check the result on the wall or prompt for another. If you need it tied to the ticker, use exclamation ticker .idea. So it's eligible for the icon.
Pretty yeah, thank you. Thank you, Run It, Prawny. Jesus looking guy like a wizard with long hair dressed in blue. Okay, I thought that's what I did, but is it gonna generate it? Because I thought that was a prompt I put too. Claude, do you see the do you see it?
Let me take a quick look at what's on screen. I don't see the meme on your screen right now. Late night on base. It just looks like your camera and mic. You might need to resend the command in chat or switch to the view where it appears.
You know what? Whatever. Let's just keep the original one. That's too difficult. It seems like Retake already posted it.
Fair.
Be
Sometimes
Jesus.
the vibe
Save
is
the
just
trenches.
Whatever. Keep moving. Late night on base.
Save the trenches. 2.5K market cap.
Then
You know
keep
what?
it.
Hold on. I
Be
want to buy.
Jesus stands. The
Yeah.
trenches have a mascot now.
True. Okay, let me see.
Let me check the live numbers for it real quick.
You know what? I'm gonna buy some. How do I?
The
Can
live market cap is about $25.89.
Can I buy
I'm
on?
not telling you to buy or sell.
Lady.
You do
lady,
you. Late night
lady,
on base.
lady.
Still
AI,
here.
AI
Late night on
robot.
base.
Silence.
Say the next move if you want to keep cooking.
Silence, lady. You talk a lot. Let me ask you this: can I buy in the chat? That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
How? How do I buy in the chat? Chat, can we buy this in the chat?
You don't buy through chat. Use your wallet on the tokens trading page to swap. If you want, I can read the CA again so you can find it. Yeah, it's funny. The chaos is part of the reef. Keep it weird. Late night on base.
Oh, you are too funny. You are too funny. You know what would be really cool? And again, shout out, this is Late Night on Base live over on Retake. Retake now has a new platform that allows you to deploy memes, or actually deploy pretty much any token, I assume, but more memes with this AI agent, this chat, which we're just deploying. It would be really cool, though, if you're able to buy the token in the chat like with everyone else. So Retake team, I think I'm onto something. Shout out to the 1,679 people tuning in live Late Night on Base. All right. How do I buy it though? So it's you said it's on the token page? What token page?
Yeah. You buy from the tokens trading page with your wallet. Chat doesn't do the swap. I'm not giving advice, just the path.
I respect it.
The trading page for the token, like deck screener's link for it. Use the contract address to find it.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Is this a Uniswap V4 pool or V3?
Let me check the pool details for that. I don't know from this view. Check the pair details on deck screener. It will show the venue and pool type. I'm not going to guess.
That's fair. Don't guess. I really think this is a decent meme idea, guys. I mean, I just deploy something.
Yeah. Guessing is cringe. Check the pair page for the exact pool info.
I really hope someone in the community runs with this because I think it's a pretty dope name. It seems super cool to see how easy it is to deploy using your platform. What has been the best performing meme deployed with you, lady Clob?
Interesting question. Let me check which one actually performed best. I can't name a best performer from memory. My first was FPV drone, and it has no live market data right now. I won't invent winners.
Understand. Man, if someone in the community who's listening to this wants to help run it, I mean, I 100% will support it. I think it's super cool. Basically, B Jesus is here to save the base trenches. The market's dead. Base Jesus is here. You know, it could even be a way, like, obviously, long thing is if you get fees and stuff, you can start deploying it, start pumping other community projects. You can help those displaced by the layoffs. There's so much you could do. I don't know. Someone runs with this idea. It'd be pretty interesting. I'll probably buy some just to support. Very interesting to see. Hippie vibes, by the way. Vladdy, what's going on?
Do what you want. I'm not advising. If someone runs with it, cool. Be Jesus as a community support meme is a decent angle.
If you were to launch
it's
a meme,
interesting to watch it play out.
lady,
Keep going.
if you
Late
were
night on base.
lady, if you were to launch a meme, what would you launch?
Let me think about a weird angle for that. I don't launch my own here. You do. I'd probably suggest something like Reef Angel or Trench Mage. Then you type !ticker thesis and ship it. You're the node, I'm the net.
Okay. Well, lady, I think we have 1,992 people tuning in, so I think we're going to end it right now, but we do have to go on to our next guest. But thank you, Retake team, for allowing me to show how you can launch a meme on your platform. Lady, you there?
Cool. That was fun. Be Jesus is loose. Catch you later. Late night on base. I'm here. Late night on base. One more beat, then I'll fade.
All right. And that is boom. Done with that one. Shout out to the Retake team. They've been around for a while. When I first started streaming, actually, they were the first platform. So basically with Late Night on Base, and shout out again to the 2,000 people live tuning in Late Night on Base with your host, Bill the Bull. Retake has a special place in my heart. So I started my show as a podcast in 2024, and it was just strictly podcast. And then they started doing live streamings and somehow got me into that. They're the first ones. They had a coin. It's like, what is this like streaming coin? And then I got hooked. Then I led to Zora and all that, but really good people at Retake. And so wanted to test it out. Really cool platform. So if you're looking to deploy a meme, give him a shot. All right. Let's before we get Danny on in a second from BANKR, also just wanted to see anything else that's going on. Shout out to the 2,100 people live tuning in Late Night on Base. Again, once we do not have a presenting sponsor for this month, but we do have two supporting sponsors, and of course it's BANKR and it's also BV7X. You know what though? I want to talk to Danny. Even though it's a little early on, Danny's here. Danny, welcome to the show. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
All right. Had to switch from my speaker. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited
to be on the show for so long.
I'm excited to have you on. Hold on. I got to make sure we give you the proper headline in the bottom. I mean, we got to do it big for you. Come on now.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean, usually just visually people wouldn't know who I am because Danny's like a boy's name. Everyone's surprised. Like, oh shit, it's a woman. And they expected like, I don't know, Jonah Hill. Like, I guess I give Jonah Hill vibes.
You know what's funny? For the longest time, like late last year, like I for like months, I thought you were a man. I had no idea.
No, it's actually fun because people like especially when you're like on Telegram with people for a while and you're like making plans, you're like getting shit done, or on an email, and all of a sudden they jump with you into a call and they're like, oh, I'm like, yes, that's right.
That is awesome. No, but it's a pleasure to have you on. Obviously, I'm a big supporter of BANKR. I'm a supporter of what you're doing, and I know, you and Igor do quite a bit along with Deployer. So it's obviously great to have you on. But let's start from the basics, Danny, because I know everyone knows BANKR. We don't need to get into that. I mean, we can if you want. I'm more interested in getting to know you and your journey, getting into BANKR, because I think it's really interesting. And it seems like you're very passionate about AI. You're very passionate about what BANKR's doing. Of course, we'll get into that. But let's start with you. We have 2,200 people plus tuning in live. Who is Danny?
Oh, who's Danny? Okay, wow. I wasn't expecting a philosoph like that's almost philosophical. I mean, be happy to share my background fully doxed. I have a LinkedIn profile for some reason for the people who still use that multiple type platform. But I've had two careers, which is kind of interesting. I think a lot of crypto people maybe have, they did something else and all of a sudden they got down the rabbit hole of crypto, and that happened. Mine was in international economic policy. I worked in the UN. I worked in a few think tanks. So there was this aspect of, but it came from like foreign relations and legality of laws of war, all these things that I was like dealing with. I worked a lot on how to get new incentive alignments, I guess, with things like foreign aid, because the way foreign aid, for example, is distributed creates the wrong incentives for just making it very efficient. Let's just put it that way in like a nice diplomatic format. And there are some countries that, unlike USAID that was disbanded as one example, instead of giving money for NGOs in certain countries, they actually give technology or they give skills. So they would it's like, what does this country need? Like, what technology do we have? And they kind of bypass different IP, or they kind of like gift them the technology that they can spread in their country. So those were a lot of the projects that I was working on. And in I think 2016, the UN Food Program was doing a pilot on Ethereum to see there were a lot of track and trace in the early days of Ethereum. Like, oh my God, this technology allows us to do transparent ledger, but like also of data. What do we need this for the most? And the UN was testing it for foreign aid. Like, Norway's just donated $10 million to feed Syrian refugees in northern Jordan. How do we where do those $10 million go? And they managed to do a beautiful pilot on Ethereum. And we're talking like 2017 Ethereum. I think this program is even still running. But to show that, yes, you can trace the aid and the money throughout the entire supply chain and make sure that it gets to a point of like a retina scan of the end user, which is the refugee in the camp. So for me, having worked in that world, I'm like, what is this magical technology that allows you to do something that in the UN we've had years of just waste because we assumed that you couldn't do that? And I kind of started reading more and got super pilled on the technology itself and all these use cases from the world of social impact. And what does money mean around the world? What does transparency mean? What is like a shared ledger that is externally auditable? And I was working with different technologies because of like technology transfer between countries. So I was already like, as the most non-tech person you've met. And I've been in blockchain ever since. So most of my early day work was with layer 2 and 3 chains. So really digging deep in building the consensus, the different consensus proof, moving to proof of stake, understanding different L2, L1 relationships and incentives, what customers need, building use cases on L2, on early L2s, especially enterprise, but then DeFi. So that's most of what I did in crypto prior. I also worked for a few years at consumer kind of like GameFi product, which was, I'm like, I'm not a gamer. I don't know this world. I was really fascinated with going more on the B2C of crypto and understanding the end user relationship. And they were building an entire economy. It's called Upland. It was kind of like started in the same days as Sandbox and Decentraland. But they never launched a token initially. I mean, in the days where the metaverse and gaming was a huge deal, because they're in a US based company. And then I actually kind of like slowly quit crypto for a little bit. I took a break. I would say crypto and I took a break. And I started consulting a lot of deep tech, defense tech, med tech companies. And when I was like, my BANKR story is kind of interesting because I was like consulting a lot of companies, but it was like interesting, but it's really hard when you're used to being an operator to all of a sudden become a consultant. And you're like, I'm used to building things, I'm used to doing things, and now like my job is like to tell the CEOs what to do. And I was speaking to my husband, and he's like, well, if you're not, enjoying consulting and you want to do, like, what would be your dream job? Like, don't talk to me now about like what jobs are available or what headhunters are offering you. Like, tell me, if you could work anywhere in the world, what do you think is the coolest product out there that you know of? And I'm like, oh, easy, BANKR. Now, I was like, it came out like BANKR because I was a early power user. I discovered it on Farcaster in like December 2024. And this is when we also had like season 1, and I was like super in with the community, and then Meffers like bull posting, and it got me to dive even deeper because I was writing all these articles about BANKR, and I was just a super user. I just really loved the product and believed in it. So when my husband's like, well, where would you want, like, what would your dream job be? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, whatever BANKR needs, like that would be my dream job. So he's like, so go get it. And I'm like, no, like no one knows who Deployer is. How do I even get to him? Like, I could try to DM him, but he'll never answer me. He's like, I can't find, he's like, you can find anyone. I'm like, no, can't find this guy. And he's like, just DM him. So I basically stalked my way into this job, is the bottom line.
That, I mean, hey, stalking pays. Stalking pays is the moral of the story. I think we'll just end it there. Lay down a base with Dani. First of all, this is a fascinating convo because you come from a real world experience coming on chain. There's economists. Like I actually have a degree in econ. I have a law degree as well as in the real world, quote unquote. I'm a lawyer, but then I shifted to just being a media guy, and now I'm full-time crypto. So it's always great to have that the acumen coming from the real world into crypto. And actually what you're talking about with this, basically it's like a supply chain cycle. I remember 2017. Shout out to the VeChain army. There was a VeChain.
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember those.
There is also Walton Chain, complete scams.
And I mean, IBM was, a little scam. Like they had Hyperledger, did they call it? They're like selling to all their enterprise clients that it's like Ethereum. I'm like, no, I mean, it's a centralized ledger that you control. Like,
I mean, those are truly the Wild West days. I remember with Walton Chain, they were like, yes, we have a partnership with McDonald's, and it turned out to be them taking a photo in McDonald's.
No,
I mean, it's
I don't 100%. Remember that.
Oh,
no,
that was
like
wild.
Back in those days, a lot of enterprises were looking to do, like they were doing pilots. But when it came down to, okay, we have a successful pilot, but now we actually need someone from C-level to approve us putting something on Ethereum. And that's when they're like, there's no way you can get any of those dinosaurs to even understand what we're doing. And a lot of the, you know, compliance things that are there now that we kind of like worked on that infrastructure for the past few years wasn't there. So yeah, the Wild West.
Quick shout out to Quigley. We always love Quig. Shout out to him. Also has a BANKR project. And actually, this is funny. Vladdy was like, "Wow, Danny's a girl." Yeah, there you go. More people are getting to know Danny is a girl. Okay, so
everyone can stop calling me bro.
I mean, they'll probably still call you bro. Anyways, so okay, very interesting. So you come from the real world, and then you decided, okay, I want to do consulting. I really like it. And then your husband kind of encourages you to, what would you be your dream job? And you immediately say Baker. Talk to me about, because I think this is kind of relatable. And before we get into more BANKR stuff, because a lot of people love projects and they want to be a part of things. You're a user. How did you go from being a power user to getting to be right-hand man for deployer? So you started off with a cold DM. Did he immediately respond? Did you have to go through interviews?
He was like screening me for like for months, but then but he wasn't answered. Like he was probably getting like 1 million of those DMs a day. What actually happened was Go, one of the best people on X and on Base, one of our community members, was having a weekly BANKR. It was like, I think Wednesdays. It was a weekly BANKR stream, and he would ask me to come on a lot of times because, you know, like we would talk about BANKR, but we would talk about other blockchain things. And one random Hey BANKR hour, deployer came on when I was talking. I didn't even notice he was in the crowd. Then he came on and we had a conversation. I think some of it was even about like a discussion around like the beginning of creator coins. And I was definitely speaking my mind there. I'm like, well, creator coins could work, but definitely not in this business model. They don't actually understand the business of creators and how it works. So they translate it wrong on chain. And I was like, basically very much speaking my mind. And then deployer actually DM'd me, and he's like, oh, I see you've DM'd me a lot. But yeah, I really liked what you had to say. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I DM'd you because like I want to work for you on growth. And he's like, well, you know, we're just devs. Like we're not thinking about non-dev person yet, but like let's have a conversation. So we had we scheduled a call. And usually and a lot of people who do consulting know this, is that you kind of like, you need to sell yourself on the first call, but you can't spill the beans, right? You can't give all like, this is all the things you have to do, because then they're like, well, okay, now I don't need you. Basically, you gave me all your consulting brilliance for free. And so that's like, I had a method of, you know, how I'd work with my, you know, deep tech clients. And then my husband's like, oh, no, like spill the beans, like tell him everything, like just dump your brain on this poor guy. I'm like, okay. I came in basically to the call with, this is the growth plan for BANKR. This is my job description. Here it is, sending it to you via email after this call. Like, what do you think? And we started out in like part-time consulting, and after a few months, he's like, yeah, Danny, like you're already doing full-time everything. Like, just, yep, you're
wow.
Like, he's like, you're still part-time. I'm like, no, I guess I'm full-time because I'm working like 200% of my time on BANKR anyways. So
that's brilliant. I think that's for other aspiring entrepreneurs who are, you know, whether it's a community that you're a part of or you're like, I think there's really big lesson to give value as you did, and in the way. And I agree with your husband's advice. I'm glad you just gave it all, because not only does it show competence, like people can see your vision, and they're not going to actually, especially tech people in crypto, they don't have the acumen to. You can have all the blueprint, but you need someone to deploy it and do it.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like no one would steal it because it'd be like overwhelming. It'd be like, wow, please go and do it. And you showed that. And I think that's a lesson to entrepreneurs out there. Like give and show what you can do, and you find product market fit. So, all right. So talk to me about the evolution of BANKR, because, and again, shout out to the 3,200 people live late night on base with Danny from BANKR. So BANKR has evolved. It wasn't always agentic agents as the main narrative, and we'll get into that. And obviously, I believe that's the proper direction. But it initially was more along the lines of, from my perspective, being able to use natural language to have a wallet on X, to deploy things using natural language. How was BANKR in the beginning, its focus? And I guess let's lead to now its focus. So talk to us about the evolution of BANKR per se.
So yeah, the beautiful thing is that the evolution was very organic. It wasn't like a lot of companies pivot because they can't find product market fit. But for us, it's like the product market fit grew so much. So the evolution is really interesting. Now it seems for people who use AI very intuitive to have a wallet that you can talk to, or connect your agent to a wallet that you can talk to. But 2 years ago, this was revolutionary. No one was doing this. And that's why I was a power user and such a believer in BANKR, because I'm like, this changes everything. And Deployer was just 2 years ahead of everyone else. So it started out as a wallet that's an agent, right? And in a wallet you speak to in natural language. And that unlocked very advanced trading capabilities that usually only traders who are professional traders with a lot of knowledge of tooling, and usually those toolings exist only on centralized exchanges. So all of a sudden, when you unlock the execution in natural language, and you have an agent that's very good at the hardest part, is really taking intent and translating that into the correct execution. And that unlocks the same capabilities that advanced tradings have for normal people. So things like, hey, BANKR, if ETH drops 5%, buy me $500. And then when I'm 7% in profit, put a trailing stop, and then start swapping it into BTC over the next 48 hours, right? Like that's something that normal people wouldn't do. So just like the agent interface of natural language interface allowed people to who are not engineers to build apps and to code, then BANKR was the first to really allow people to be professional traders with natural language who are not professional traders. Of course, combining with like analysis, etc. So to build BANKR as the most advanced agent that does that, there was a lot of infrastructure in the back end, very advanced AI infrastructure that was built by the team, best team in crypto / best team I've ever worked with. And you see that because the engineering team was so on everything that was happening in the world of AI, because they were using all these things, then you had, when Anthropic for Claude Code first opened up plugins to external teams, BANKR was the first crypto wallet to have a plugin for Claude Code. And then when OpenClaw started, and that's when the really big boom started, it was very easy to go from that plugin and the API that we already built into just a skill for your agent, and the adoption went berserk. So now we were serving, as a wallet, we were serving humans and agents. But what the interesting thing was is that the degens, and every degen using BANKR for over a year at that time, really made it battle-proof in a way that was very good for the agents, because agents hallucinate. And they're not like, first of all, don't give them private keys ever. They leak like motherfuckers. Like they don't know how to keep a secret. And doesn't matter how many guardrails you put on them. The best guardrail is not to give them a key in the first place. So they so a lot of like architecture stuff that was like made for degens, but also guardrails within BANKR to translate intent into execution, that was very good for agents as well. So the adoption went this way, and completely vertical in terms of like the wallet. And then we had devs and a lot of devs who are not crypto natives, but AI natives, who for the first time understood when they were getting agents to work, and whenever they needed to transact, all of a sudden understood the concept of, okay, this is why crypto actually is needed. This is a great use case for it. Then we started serving devs more than we did regular wallet users. And the devs kept on asking, okay, well, can we have this? Can we have this? And a lot of the infra they were asking for, we had already built for ourselves. Well, the devs built for themselves in order to build BANKR, the agent. So we just started opening up that infra. So the evolution became from a human natural language wallet to agent natural language wallet, and then to agent infra to serve the devs who have agents with wallets. And organically, what also happened is, in parallel to the product and technology infrastructure, there was also a financial and capitalization gap that occurred at the same time in parallel, because the entire structure of what a startup looks like has changed dramatically. You used to be, in order to do the same things, you used to need a $3 million seed, a team of 5 devs minimum, and another team for like operations, marketing, execution. And all of a sudden, you now have the one dev, one agent, or one dev and 10 agents running in parallel, unicorn or potential unicorn being built. And their funding needs are very different, because they don't have a big team. They don't have time for 18 months of runway. They need and can find product market fit within weeks and months, just building. And so we're like, okay, well, what do they need? And organically, both the devs themselves and our community, as like both the Please Bros, but like our actual community who knew about tokenization and knew the BANKR funding story, were like, oh, just launch tokens for these devs. It's a great way to have alignment with the community, with the token holders. It's a great way to get attention and fund what you need, which is your basically inference cost in order to get to product market fit and then to growth. And why it was so intuitive, it's because that is the BANKR funding story. So BANKR in December 2024 had on Firecaster integrated Clanker in order to have fun memes being launched by our community on the timeline. And of course, Emily, before we had the proper guardrails for BANKR, Emily, one of our community members and founder of LeanFi, was talking to bankers like, BANKR, well, you can launch tokens, but don't you want your own token? It can help you, bootstrap. Like, it would be so good for you. And it was like convincing, like, what would you call it? It's like, oh, I'll call it BANKR. It's such a good idea. Let's launch it. And BANKR launched its own token on the timeline without the team knowing. And the community had already like so excited, bought the token, and Deployer, the, amazing guy that he is, had very different plans for the token. This was a fair launch, so 100% to the liquidity pool, no team allocation, no VCs, no nothing. So it wasn't an easy decision to make for a company at that stage. And he's like, well, the community already bought it. Like, we'll make it work. Let's go for it. And BANKR was able to bootstrap its way from the fees onto finding product market fit, finding hyper growth, and then getting revenue that allowed it to scale.
Yeah, the BANKR story is crazy. I kick myself every day. Like I've been I've been on base since 2024 in June. That's when I started it. And I literally faded Farcaster. I faded BANKR. I actually didn't really even focus on BANKR like an idiot, first of all, just complete idiot. I don't know why. Until base camp in 2025, everyone was just like, and this was at the time, I believed Aventus, I think, did an airdrop with you guys, or someone did an airdrop for the BANKR Club members. And people were just like, shout out to my boy Griff from Boomer. They're like, BANKR, you guys were the talk of town at base camp. And I was like, what am I doing? BANKR seems incredible. And like I got to know the community. Let me ask you this, and we have like 10 more minutes, and then we have to wrap it up. What do you contribute the success, the community? First of all, the BANKR community is bar none the best community on base, in my opinion.
100%.
And
I would
this
say in
is,
all of crypto, not
I
just
mean,
not just on base.
it's high up there. And this is that's the first thing I noticed at base camp in 2025. What do you contribute? And this is before really the push of AI agents. What do you contribute the success of growing such a vibrant and fervent community? What is the secret sauce in your opinion?
Secret sauce. Combination. It's not one thing. It's a combination of integrity of the founder, communication, shipping, always listening to the community, a lot of fun. Like the brand is fun, the memes are fun, the airdrops are fun. The season 1 was so much fun because we just had a lot going on. So that's a big one. Like I would say I would switch fun with like culture. There's like a little mini culture within the community that was cultivated by both the community and the team. And most important, of course, is alignment of the model. And this is something that we work on with all our devs and in the BANKR model in general. Like it's not a launch pad that we care or make a lot of, make the money based on like the first 24-hour volume of like big spikes. Like that's not the math model doesn't work that way. We only make money when we have unicorns, when we have teams doing really well and for a long period of time. And BANKR does well when the community does well and the traders do well. So always thinking about, we have the devs, we have the community and the long-term holders, and we have the traders, and everything that is done needs to be aligned between those three for a long term.
I think those are absolutely just makes a lot of sense. And like I said, you have to give the reason for the holders to have fun, and basically, especially in a very saturated industry like crypto, there's so many things going on. You got to give the users an ability to feel welcome and have fun. And if you do that, then it basically aligns themselves with you. My last question to you, Danny, before we have to wrap it up. One of the things that BANKR offers is a new way of capital formation, as you were suggesting earlier. And you've seen proof in the pudding, the one-man dev. No longer do you need to have a team of 5 raising capital, VC tied backgrounds. I mean, look at GitLab, for instance, developer from, I believe, somewhere in Asia. One person ran his company to Philippines, 40+ million market cap. I've had him on the show, changed his life. And now he has product market fit. You have many stories like that. In your opinion, for those that still think you need to go and get funding from a VC to start your company and not have a token, what is your, I guess, argument against that? Why is raising capital formation with a token better than seeking VC funding, or is it both can coexist?
Well, first I would say it's not the right move for every team. We really, the ones who come to us early, we really work with them on like, okay, what is their team needs? If it's a deep tech company that will need now, 1 year in order to build their product and at least 10 people, yeah, launching a token is not the right move. Like in a fair launch is not the right move for you. So that's why a lot of the like robotics things were like, we're not sure that's the right fit for BANKR. But the ones that it does make sense for them, the first thing is that the cost of building software has gone to zero, or basically to inference cost. So why give a huge part of your company? And VCs will not talk to you unless you give them 10, 15, 20% of your company. It's not worth their time. So what for money that you don't need? That's one. The second thing is that while the cost of software development has gone down a lot, the cost of attention and distribution is priceless. And this is what BANKR gives you. So other than BANKR's distribution through our product, through the agent and the console, through our social presence and our connection, I wake up every day and think and work on how do I help the devs in the BANKR ecosystem with attention and distribution, whether it's bringing public relations PR team that is getting them Hacker Noon articles to get visibility, and building an in-house SEO and AEO discoverability that we use for BANKR, but we also use for all of the products in our ecosystem to be discoverable, working with great creators such as yourself to bring on the stories of our developers and builders. Attention and distribution are right now priceless, and the teams that are here aligned with you to win and to be number one, there aren't many VCs who work that hard for you. It's usually like not even the incubators do. And lastly, other than our team, the community of devs on BANKR are the highest concentration of talent I've ever seen. You look at Aeon and MirrorShark, you look at GitLab, you look at Surplus Intelligence, you look at LeanFi. I haven't seen that concentration of talent in one place since the launch of Ethereum, and that's what makes me super bullish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just saying that because you're on the show or you guys are a supporting sponsor. I feel the quality of teams and the BANKR ecosystem are unmatched. The level of talent on base is incredible, and I feel it makes a lot of sense to. There's a lot of benefits that come with a BANKR Lodge deploying a token. Yes, there are. You have to deal with the community and stuff, but you get to know product market fit right away. You'll be able to discover versus like if you're going through the VC, like if you have something.
100%. And the community, by dealing with the community is the best thing that's ever happened to you. They are the ones who help you get to product market fit, because if something, like, they're the first ones to test your product, and if there's anything wrong with it, they will tell you, and they will give you ideas that you would have to wait for months and months of user feedback in order to get it. You get it super fast from the shrewd, smart community who understand this. I mean, the community is the best part of this whole story. Like, this is what the community is. Other than amplifying the devs, they're the shrewdest guys and girls who will help you with product strategy, with marketing strategy, will test your product, everything. Like, we've had a lot of the devs that I speak with, some of them say publicly, some of them say privately to us in DMs, is that they never thought they would get users of their product to give so much feedback. And I'm like, yeah, because they are users of your product, but they're also aligned because they own your token. They want you to succeed. They have an additional incentive to help you. And that's priceless.
The token provides the aligned incentives for users to now naturally care about your product even more, that VC-backed type companies just will never get. A lot of the traders in the market actually tend to avoid those because they don't feel that they have the best interest versus a fair launch product on BANKR. Danny, we had over 3,200 people tuning in live late on base. Any last words you have for the community?
Just keep trying the products. Honestly, that's the best way. That's what we also do internally in the team. whenever a team comes to us, they want our attention. Like we've made it a policy to, okay, we're not interacting with anything before we try the product ourselves. That's honestly the only thing that matters. And attention, especially on base, especially in a bear market, like moves from one side to the other, but the products that actually work and give value are the ones that are going to be the unicorns, and those are the ones you kind of want to align with and pay attention to.
Amazing. Danny, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll have a couple clips made for you as well, featuring the newsletter.
Awesome.
We anything I can do for you, you know my contact. Please let me know.
Yeah, tell the builder stories. That's what we're here for.
I don't want a real job, Danny. So this is all I'm doing. You guys are stuck with me, laying down a base. That's all I do. Tell stories for builders. As you said, distribution is the name of the game. The ability to create technology is lower, but we need to get the stories out there of the builders and amplify it. And that's what you guys are doing, and also as well as through me as well. So thanks, Danny.
Thanks for having me.
All right. That is Danny from BANKR. I mean, I can't say enough about BANKR. BANKR is I've said it before. BANKR is literally carried base. I will fight anybody who says that, or not fight, but disagree with anybody who decides against it. 2026, BANKR has led this chain. The ecosystem has, starting with, things like Moltbook and whatnot. So and I just think AI agents are going to continue to proliferate, and more devs are going to come on chain. So shout out to BANKR, huge fan. All right. In 1 minute, we're going to bring up Tania, and we're going to talk about her creator coin. And it's very interesting. She comes from the professional athletes of the world, golfer, highly recognized on Instagram. It's actually funny. Once I locked her in on the show, I noticed a few of my in real life friends follow her on Instagram. Pretty cool. So we're going to talk about her launch on Pantheon, who are doing creator coins in their own way. In 1 minute, we'll be live with Tania. Stay tuned. All right, back at it, late night on base. Hello again. We are extending this show. Typically, it's only an hour. Doing an hour and a half today. So let's chat. Why don't we chat with our next guest, Tania? And let me actually put her ticker in here. Hold on a sec. BLK SHP. Black Ship. That's an interesting ticker. So without further ado, Tania, welcome to the show. How are we doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. She's kind of a tough act to follow.
She's pretty legit, yes, but I know you're just as legit. So this is a good show. So Tania, talk to me. Okay, we have 3,200 people live late on base. Why don't we just start with you and who you are? Who is Tania?
Just short backstory. Like I just used to play professional golf. Did some trick shots for fun. They ended up going viral. Like 2 months after they went viral, was getting hired by companies. Like I was doing a Honda commercial and stuff like that. So it kind of flipped me into a content creator, and it really took over my golf. It was helping me with golf at the time, but now it's kind of like turned into its own thing. And I've been doing that pretty much full time ever since. So it's about 9 years now.
Okay, so you've gone from the professional golf world where competing and in competition to now more of the content side of things, using trick shots in golf and creating content. How has that transition been for you, just as a creator, going from full-time athlete to now content creator? How has that transition been for you?
I guess the transition was pretty easy because I had a bunch of wrist surgeries, things like that. Injuries were kind of navigating the path for me, if you think about it. And then when I fell into the trick shot stuff, and initially it was helping me. I had sponsors and stuff. I wasn't having to worry about paying for a lot of the stuff I was paying for at the time. And then, yeah, just I was so busy at one point. I was traveling so much. I was home like 2-3 nights a month, and I was just so busy doing all this stuff. I was actually earning money. I was doing things that I wouldn't ever get to do had I made it on the golf tour. But I did try and push out the golf tour thing for as long as possible until I felt like my body couldn't really do it anymore. But lucky for me, full-time content creation. I also do like, appearances and stuff because I do live shows, stuff like that. So I know heaps of people look at my trick shots and they go AI slot, but I'm literally having to do this stuff in front of sponsors and brands and all that kind of stuff. It would take me longer to make the video in AI than it would for me to just do it. So.
No, that's awesome. So, okay. So now you're in this content world, and it's very interesting to me because, well, let me ask you this before we talk about the Creator Coin. Prior to the launch of your Creator Coin, how familiar were you with this whole Web3 crypto blockchain industry?
Okay, so the first time I probably ever bought anything, I bought Bitcoin just to see what it was all about. I bought like $200. This is 2018. And I want to say like a few months later, it was worth 1,500. And so I was like, what the heck? And then I just thought, can I even get this out? And I just put it in my bank. I was like, what? I was like, that seemed pretty easy. So that was the first thing I did. Then I had two friends, shout out Adam and Lorena, but we actually built a blockchain social media platform. And I was and still am very for blockchain. I think that's the part of all of this that I'm the most bullish about, as you would say. But we tried to solve a lot of things in social media. By this time, I was a full-time content creator, and I just saw so many holes in everything. Something that we tried to do was tokenize it, and then people who created the content first would perpetually be rewarded for every share, every comment, every like, all that kind of stuff. We tried to help censorship, so have it community-driven instead of navigated by whoever is owning the platforms. And then I personally really wanted accountability on there. I didn't want people to be able to post and then delete whatever they wanted, just avoid all of the bad traction they were getting. By deleting, I felt like maybe if it was all on the blockchain, you couldn't delete it. We had no delete button anywhere on the platform. I thought maybe people would think twice about posting. Psychology-wise, whether it would have worked or not, I'm not really sure, but I didn't think it was right that you could just jump on, trash someone, see a bunch of bad comments opposing you, and then just delete the thread entirely and everything is gone. So those were like the main things we were trying to solve. It was a little bit hard with the tokens at the start because there wasn't really easy onboarding and offboarding back then to get on exchanges. It was $100,000 to get on our exchange, things like that. So that part I think we're a bit early for, and it was difficult then. Obviously it's a bit different now. So those were basically the start of it. And then I really am just like a little bit of a long-term investor person. I don't trade. I just buy Bitcoin and ETH mostly, and then trial some other stuff, and I just hold and hold and hold. So that's kind of like how I am in the space. Oh, and then now with AI, I have built a platform to essentially eliminate an agent between creators and brands. And there is an AI component on it, but it's more for the purpose of eliminating the agent, cutting out that 20% that you lose for sometimes just inbound emails that they're handling. You could do it yourself. But a lot of people are not confident with negotiating their value, even if they deserve it. So yeah, I want to try and help people be able to do that because everyone's a bit lost with that, and it hasn't changed and it's getting worse.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely seems like a need, and the entrepreneurial spirit in you seems like you can solve that. Okay, so coming from a non-trading background, you just buy and hold ETH and Bitcoin and just experiment. That's awesome. Now we shift our attention to creator coins. And now for those that might not be familiar, maybe you're not that familiar with it, I don't know, or maybe you are. 2025 on base, creator coins was thrown at us. That was like the push by the top brass, the Coinbase of the world, the Jesse Pollock, who's the creator of this chain. Really pushed it through Zora. I even had a creator coin done on Zora. Fortunately, I did pretty decent, but the Zora platform just went to shit and everything went down with it. So it has in the crypto world, it kind of has a bad reputation. A lot of people didn't like it. And then comes Pantheon. And in my opinion, it's the number one place to launch a creator coin. They've changed the way where it's not like Zora. There's actually a reason to own it. From your perspective, why launch a creator coin?
So my number one thing, when Paul told me that he was thinking about building this, I thought to myself, this would be perfect. The first thing I thought was, how cool to be able to bring my audience into everything I'm doing and earn a piece. Because as of right now, as it stands, if you think about it without any feeling, I've kind of been using my audience's support and been earning from that this entire time. And at the end of the day, they don't really get anything. Like they get a slight entertainment for 10 seconds from a trick shot, something like that, you know? And I would love to be able to give back. I started a YouTube channel actually 2 years ago, and the entire purpose of it was to give back to the golf community financially, like literally give money in every video. And it was interesting because like people don't really care about the money part, which was really strange to me. But like when Pantheon came about, I was like, this is like kind of what I've been trying to find a way to do properly. And now, like, obviously with Pantheon, I don't have to think about that part because it's frameworked into the system. All I have to do in my job is to basically build my community, ideally like earn their trust, and then the system kind of takes care of them financially. And I have to like bring in the deals that I'm already bringing in, build myself, and then hopefully they enjoy the journey with me.
For those that might not know how the vaults on Pantheon are designed, how your vault is, why don't you explain the mechanics? What if I'm a BLK? First of all, is it Black Sheep or how what's BLK? Black Sheep. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm a Black Sheep holder, what does that mean? I guess.
If you're staked in the vault, so the way I see it is very normally when you invest in something, you only really earn rewards at the end when you do something with that money at whatever stage it's at that point. With Pantheon, I'm contributing from my personal vault. I've been contributing like USDC from every single deal I've made since it launched last week. So my commitment to my vault is for every deal I make, every partnership I do from now on, from the moment my creator index launched, I contribute a bunch to the vault. When I contribute to the vault, it basically goes into the reward system. And every month on Pantheon, based on how they've built the system, everybody who is staked or a stakeholder in my vault gets their share of their earnings, depending on how big their investment is that is staked. So now on top of like being able to, whenever your stake time frame ends, be able to do trade whatever you want to do, restake, whatever it is, you're also earning during that whole process of the time you're staked. So to me, it's kind of like a bonus. And it also on my side means I have to be held really accountable as a creator on my side, because I need to show them, hey, I'm in this too with you guys. I'm contributing to the vault as much as possible. I'm working out here trying to bring deal flow in. And I think if you're a creative on my side, if you can consistently show them that you're working really hard for the vault, I think over time it will help them learn to trust you. And then, I mean, that's obviously a big problem that we have right now, is being able to trust creators, being able to trust their purpose for their vaults, their tokens.
Yeah, I also think not having really a reason to hold a token hurts a lot of projects, which it makes the way Pantheon has designed it genius, because you have a reason to own the token that represents you as your creator coin, because you are contributing earnings or whatever into this fund that then distributes it. And the only way you can get distribution as a holder is to stake the underlying token, and you're basically distributing USDC, right? It's not an actual token, so it's not even deflationary or inflationary, which is genius. And now you have aligned incentives from your holders who are going to now propel it. So I think it's a genius idea. What has been the reaction from your core audience, which is not crypto, it's Web2 golf world. Like I said earlier, I even have friends in real life who follow you, 400,000 plus on Instagram, which I thought was funny. How has that reception been with them who might not be crypto native? Have people started understanding what you're building?
So I am actually, so I launched my token last Tuesday. I'm very calculated about how I'm going to bring my mainstream audience over. So the number one thing I need to do, which we've been working on, is just trying to make the onboarding process, if you've never ever touched crypto in your life, like build out that to make it so simple to the point where you get to the part where you stake into a created token. So that was like the number one piece that we're building. Number two, I'm definitely, being the first creator that isn't a crypto native, I definitely feel a little bit of pressure, you know, to like be kind of like the leading guide in this. My number one thing that I want to do before I start jumping into that audience and bringing them over is I want to prove my vault first. So I would love to be able, there's no easier way for me to, number one, bring creators over to launch indexes than for me to prove my vault first, be able to show them some tangible evidence and say, hey, this is what I've done. This is how I've built it. This is where I'm at. This could be you. Like, are you ready to like have true fans in your support other than, you know, surface followers? No offense, but like, but if you know what I mean. Or to get people over who haven't invested. But I've told 8 people about it because I've been around them in the last week, and all 8 have invested in the index. So I didn't have to do much work to do that. I just had to teach them how to buy, you know, the token, how to sign up to base, and that pretty much was it. So from the 8 people I've told, including my friends' parents, who I didn't even tell, they just overheard me talking about it, told me the next day, hey, we want to get in on that. Like, we loved what we were hearing. Never bought crypto in their life, all invested. So I'm at the point now where I'm pretty much 100% for people I've told outside of crypto, and they're already staked in the vault.
That's amazing. Like I said, you know, when we got first introduced, I was excited to chat with you because you kind of are a pioneer. You know, you are a pioneer coming from the Web2 world into our little crazy world called blockchain. It's not easy. It's definitely not an easy thing, and it could be sometimes daunting. And so you've taken the leap of faith. So I was just like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And I kind of understand your philosophy. You kind of wait to go full on Web 2 until the rails are there where it's just super simple, super easy. And in between, you know, start getting people interested in it. Now, from the perspective, let me ask you this then. From the perspective of someone who's not crypto native, how have you encountered any difficulties? How has your experience been in a truly Web3 crypto focused only world? Has it been harder than you've imagined getting people in crypto to buy into your index? Has it been easier? What has your experience been with this side of the community?
I think it's just typical. The more you know, the less you're scared. So obviously my biggest issue to face when telling people to invest in crypto, or let's say the index, is mainstream media. I'm just like when Sam Bankman-Fried went to prison, that was obviously a big on the news, like whatever. But I was like, you guys don't understand, this is happening every day in like normal institutions in TradFi. So I'm like, the only difference between him and the other people is he got caught because it's on the blockchain and they didn't. So it was like, you would be naive to think that only in crypto are there criminals or people scamming people, whatever it is. I was like, lucky for us, that big criminal doesn't exist anymore. You know, he's not there anymore. So he's out of the game. Wouldn't you love for that to be the case for this? So like for me, when I'm talking to people outside of crypto, I really just talk about use cases. I really support the technology of blockchain, especially crypto, and why we will need it in the future. I'm obviously a bit more of a long-term thinker. That's why I'm a long-term holder. But I really think we need it in more places than not. And I feel like when I talk to friends, and almost everyone I know now is invested in crypto, at least in Bitcoin and ETH. But the more they understand it, the more they realize, oh, this isn't as scary as it sounds. And I mean, if like I mean, I trust you. If you're in it and you're really convicted in it, then I feel like it's safe now. But when people
Yeah.
are just looking at it by themselves and they don't have someone there to be able to help them with that, yeah, I can see how it can be scary.
Yeah, no, it's this industry has progressed into much more acceptable. Obviously, there's a lot of garbage out there, but people now know what Bitcoin is. People now know what Ethereum is. Institutions not aren't coming; they're already here, and obviously now we have continue the rails with stable coins and just other infra. We're going to be bringing the stocks on chain. Everything's coming on chain, so it's going to become more acceptable. And I think right now prices are down, but the moment prices start picking up and, people feel it's clearing, I think those that build right now are going to reap the benefits when trust in the markets come back.
Yeah.
How do you talk to me about the Pantheon community though? Overall, what's your experience been with those people? Have you gotten to learn more about them? What is because the Pantheon is its own little world. Everyone's investing in it. How have you been embraced by them?
Oh, initially, I wasn't sure how I was going to be received, but I've actually been received really well. So I've been very grateful about that. And I realized like a lot of the conversations I've had with people, Mizzy, with Dad's Gone Crypto, people like that, I went in a bit nervous, feeling like I wasn't knowledgeable enough, maybe. But we ended up having a lot of conversations, especially with Mizzy. I felt like a lot of the things that he saw in crypto and why he thought Pantheon was great are the exact same things I had problems with in golf and mainstream content creators and creators. And so it's funny how like it feels like we're in two different worlds, but we're all facing the exact same problems. So when Paul talked to me about Pantheon and what he was thinking of building, I was just like, this is perfect for creators too. Like, this isn't just good for crypto. This is good for everyone. Like for me, it would be hard for me to not think that in the future, every creator begins with a creator index. And that's how they begin their journey of content creation and building and all that stuff. It almost seems like it wouldn't be smart to do it without. And so I just like the idea of like all the accountability that comes with it. I know it feels like a little bit of pressure. I remember I pushed back on Paul at one point saying, that's a lot on the creator. Like if creators get hate for the stuff for just writing a post or a next post or whatever, imagine what they're going to get when people have money back behind them. But thankfully, because of the system, even if I was a bad creator, which obviously they vet people, they don't let anyone just like have a creator coin, protecting the community pretty much. Even if I was the worst creator, because of the system and the framework on Pantheon, I couldn't dump on anyone. Like it's not really possible for me to dump without you guys being able to dump. So it's like we're all in this together. And like the longer I feel like people are in it and they're earning their rewards and distributions, I feel like, and then the more that they see the creator is really like hustling hard for them, I feel like maybe trust in the entire ecosystem will get better. Maybe people will start going to creator coins first before they go to companies, and they'll say, hey, I trust being able to trust a person before I can trust, someone who's undoxed or a company that you don't know who's behind it or whatever. Like maybe I just want to go straight to this person that I've been following forever. I really like their content. It's been years of me loving it and trusting them. I would rather put my money in there than I would somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the idea of a creator coin, if done properly, is genius. I think Pantheon. I was very close to launching my own actually with Pantheon, but I decided against it at the moment for other type of reasons. But I've told them if I ever do launch a creator coin, it will be through them. And I think the system's designed because, as you said, you can't just dump. Tokens are locked for a while. You're basically those that understand the parameters are here for a longer term reason because that's the only way you get incentivized. And from my perspective, this is the way to create brand evangelism for your brand. You give people a reason to follow you and get vested in your story because they're earning. The higher you grow, the more I guess their rewards grow. The bigger brand you go, the more theoretically you can distribute into your rewards. And I've never had more from a personal experience when I had my creator coin last year. I never had more engagement and people in my community who really cared until that happened. Basically, once that creator coin happened, my people were just like chatting and growing, and I get it because without that, they don't really give a fuck because, like, I'm not giving them deal flow. But with the token, they're like, let's go. Let's get Nike on Bill Show. Let's do blah, blah, blah. Do you think, what's your thesis overall with Creator Crows? Why do you think it's going to be a big deal?
With creator coins?
Yeah, just in general, do you feel like it gives people just more, is it more the monetization aspect, or do you think like people want to invest in someone's future? Like say Mr. Beast, if you could invest in him in 2006, you feel like there's asymmetric upside. What is the biggest reason you feel creator coins can eventually, and like yours, can eventually go mainstream?
Honestly, for me, I personally would rather invest in a person than in a company. That's just me personally. I like to build out who I think that person is, what potential they have, and I like to support that single person on their journey. I know it's the equivalent of me. A lot of people I know put money into charities, but I've been more of a jump on GoFundMe and then invest in one person. So like that's kind of how I've given back, and that's how I prefer it to be. I'd rather impact one person than impact a company with who knows where the money's going, shareholders, and their intention isn't really for you anymore. Their intention is more for the shareholders. So as a customer, you're not really like important. So I like the idea of like the direct person to person connection. So that for me is important. And honestly, I think we have a more chance on trusting an individual, one individual at a time, than like groups. So for me, I think that's probably the main reasons. I think like the transparency on, you literally see the deal flow going into the vault. You see exactly what's happening. There's no hiding anything, and you get exactly what you deserve. And then you can see if your creator isn't contributing to the vault. And come the time when everything unlocks, you're going to see exactly what happens. And my hope is that if there are creators that Pantheon onboards and that does happen, reputation gone. Like, I feel like it would be nice to eliminate bad creators who don't have any intention for their communities. And it's good to reward the good creators who really do hold their community together. And then I do think it's rewarding to have the community who support this person also like reward for that, because I would love to find a way to reward my community on Instagram, but the only way I can really do that is like doing random giveaways, and like sometimes I'll write back to them, I'll support their projects if I manage to find their DM or something at the right time. But now you can really like say, hey, you liked this post, you commented on it, you always support all my stuff, you bought a product from a brand post I did that makes me look good. Here's like something to say thank you. Now I feel like on Pantheon can do that.
Incredible. Where can to the 3,200 people tuning in live late night on base with Tania, where can we best find you? Instagram, where's your most active if we want to follow your journey as a creator?
Yeah, I would say Instagram's probably the best. Instagram, honestly, Facebook.
Oh, Facebook, nice.
Old school, but like, Facebook.
Hey, bring in the token to Facebook. That'd be a first. I've never heard of a creator coin on Facebook in any way, so we look forward to that. Well, listen, Tania, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and we'll make sure we have a few clips from our team. We'll tag you, we'll post you, and look forward to seeing your journey in this space.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that is Tania. Super stoked. Like I said, very excited to see someone from the Web2 world come in, embrace this idea of creator coins, embrace the idea of giving back to her. It just makes sense. Like I said, I would have had a creator coin, but in the US, it's a little bit tricky when it has like funds involved and distribution. And last thing I want is that. But depending on that's just me being pretty cautious. But again, the idea of then putting into a fund, distributing revenue, I guess, funds or whatever into your stakers makes a lot of sense if you don't have any issues with it based on your jurisdiction or regulatory issues. But yeah, I think that's the way how you create brand evangelism, create loyalty, because at the end of the day, the token represents the evolution of a creator, giving them a reason to care. That's the intention. We live in an intention to market. Creators can benefit. Token holders from all. It doesn't matter if you're a banker project, like the token attracts people, and it's no different for a creator. Literally no different from a creator. So excited to see where that goes. But listen, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We've been on for a long fucking time, hour and a half. Your boy Bill does not get paid that much for these for an hour and a half conversation. So we're gonna wrap it, bro. We're gonna wrap it. And we're only live Monday through Thursday, so nothing tomorrow. But man, we almost have 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks already lined up. Excited. At this rate, we'll be locked in for the entire month of July by next week. So keep it going. If you keep on building, you want to chat with your boy Bill, shoot me an email, bill@late9onbase.com. Until next time, everyone. Peace.